Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for clicking the video. It means a lot to you guys keep clicking. If you guys, we can all keep making. And today we're talking all about a few players who, let's just say, they get ganged up on me. I'm not really a stranger to this. I mean, these people keep my channel alive during the off season. Without them, I'd have no content. For someone who they hate so much, they really do not only fund my channel by sending their fans my way, but they also give me some great content. I mean, I have nothing to talk about here, and yet, of course, these people come and save the day. Thank you. If you're new here from their tweets, or if you just haven't already, like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff because it's free, it's easy, and it really helps the channel out. So just a quick history for the people who may not know, I'm very frequently a target for these people. I've been called out by these Survivor subreddit, from players from the show, and it really just stems from 41. I was watching 41 and I saw how Shan was handling the race alliances situation, basically creating an alliance based off race. And as a black person myself, I found it embarrassing. I was just sitting there like watching my TV and how production was celebrating this, saying this is horrible for the game. The introduction of race alliances is not good for the game. So I called her out, and those videos did pretty well. They really helped the channel grow, and it showed that it wasn't just me feeling this way, that most people saw through Shan's BS. So then Shan responded back on Twitter, calling my videos diatribes, which obviously helped the channel grow immensely. Then the next big thing to happen was the Survivor subreddit calling me, a black guy, a Ku Klux Klan member, and that my viewers were also such. Basically, the background is that after the Marianne and Drea thing happened, where they claimed that it was a bad pattern, that two blacks had been voted out in a row, and that if they got voted out, then this was a horrible pattern. The Survivor subreddit knew that I was about to make a video on it and called them out for this absolute dumbassery. And before I could even speak, they did the responsible thing and called all of me and my subscribers Ku Klux Klan members. And this wasn't some sort of small post that got like a small amount of support. This is 300 people calling a black person and all of his supporters Ku Klux Klan members. Talk about silencing black voices, as they're always talking about. Of course, they're fine with that when it's not, the ones that they agree with and see as fit. So I came back and made a video called Survivor 42 Goes Woke. It's still one of my better performing videos to this day. Again, proving the point that most people have common sense, and it shows that like the views that I and my viewers have are not some sort of radical, crazy new ideas. It's just common sense stuff. So of course, flash forward to I think last weekend, basically Christmas weekend. This is what these people do. Instead of opening presents and sharing times with their family, they tweet on Twitter about how I suck. So this person, I think it's Survivor fan Dan, who is not a fan of mine. He's constantly talking about me. I think he might actually dream about me. He said, "Shut the fuck up, incel," to my video talking about how I don't think Cassidy got robbed. Cassidy replies saying all his takes are rooted in hate and bigotry. Lamal. I've never even cared less for a person's opinion. Embarrassed for him. Rick Devens replies, never even heard of this loser. So obviously really fun holiday-like activities going on in this thread. No, I'm joking, but where to start? Okay, first, Cassidy, great to know that you're a fan and avid watcher of the channel. You are joining the likes of people like Gabler and Tori. Trust me, you are not in bad company. Appreciate the love. Second of all, if you say that you don't care about something, you care about it. I'm sorry, like it's very rare. Nowadays, people are always talking about how it's not that deep, bro. Like, yes, Cassidy, calm down. It is that deep for you and it's okay. Accept your emotions. It's okay to care about a 16-year-old talking about you online. I know it's sad, but it's the truth. Accept it. Okay, now getting on to the kind of the meat and potatoes of her argument. There is none. That's kind of the catch here. There's no facts. There's no quotes that I've said that show hatred and bigotry. There's no examples. There's no videos. It's just take my word for it. Like, I'm Cassidy and I say that this person is rooted in hate and bigotry. Take my word for it. No evidence, because obviously if someone's deep rooted in hate, you'd think that they would have done something or said something very, very hateful. Of course, you can't find this. Then we move on to Rick's tweet, which is interesting because although Cassidy fails to make a good argument and really does try, Rick kind of just pulls up to the test, says, I'm not even going to take it. So it's like, is it better to fail or just never even try at the test? I'm going to go with probably just failing. I think it's probably worse. Although Rick's is pretty bad as well. I mean, he's a grown man. Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, seriously. Like, do you have nothing better to do? I mean, I get paid for this. You're not getting paid for spewing that hate at all. And like, obviously trying to reason and go through the arguments of this sounds silly, but that's kind of the whole point. The fact that when I actually try and like have a convo with these people and rationalize their own ideas, they cannot explain their thought process. It's only buzzwords, it's only hatred, and it's only like emotion. There's no logic or fact to it. And I just don't understand how you can believe something without being able to explain it effectively. Like, at least in the past, when I've been called out by players, that they did it in a fun, in joking way. This was very, very much different, very aggressive, with the same amount of, lack of evidence, logic, and fact. Now, of course, I can't fully complain. I mean, this is a job that I do for money, and of course, when you put yourself out there publicly, you're being vulnerable, and you have to be okay with being attacked. But it doesn't make it okay. It doesn't make it right, and it doesn't make it just. I do think that it's wrong for players to do this, especially without lack of evidence. I actually posted it on my community tab, and of course the responses were awesome. And I'm going to let the New England Hustler kind of make my argument for me here. He says, very typical of these type of people, that they can't come up with counterpoints to prove you wrong, so they just resort to name calling and labeling you with isms and ists. Not very surprised. Cassie's whole game was just saying she got rid of all of the people who tried to get rid of her. Only problem is that none of the decisions to get rid of those people were from her, at least from the edited show's perspective. Jesse, Carla, and Cody called all the shots. She even got called out for trying to take somebody's move at Final Tribal Council. And again, I 100% agree with this. Again, she has no argument for why her game was good or for why she was robbed. She played a below average game for someone who got to the end. She was involved with moves, but she never controlled the moves. And for that reason, she's not robbed. Maybe she's a better player than the edit showed, but she is not robbed. There's just no universe where she played a game that's worth calling her a robbed goddess. I mean, people are comparing her to Parvati and Sandra and the legends of the game, when she's just simply not that. So I guess the overall message is thank you, Cassidy and Rick Devens, for giving me content for today. On top of that, I don't really think you made any good arguments. I think actually one of you made an anti-argument, which is like, that's crazy. It's like antimatter, but it's like an anti-argument. That is impressive. You're basically creating some scientific chemistry stuff. It's that bad. But what do you think? Do you agree? Disagree? Let me know down below in the comments, because opposite opinions are actually allowed here without being bullied. I'm sure that's a shock for some of you new viewers. If that's, I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.